وأكثر الدعاء بتعجيل الفرج فإن ذلك فرجكم.
There is a hadith from our sixth Imam, Jaffar Ladak, salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, in Bihar al-Anwar, whereby he states, and this is a phenomenal hadith. Think about this in light of this trajectory of growth and humankind arriving at the pedestal of thought, whereby they're worthy of having a human savior come to them. They're not thinking on these petty lines. The hadith states, between the Ghaibat and the Zahoor, every type of governance will take place on this earth. And eventually, mankind will realize that these governances are not sustainable. There may be communism, there may be capitalism, there may be socialism. Every type of governance from the time till now will occur. And eventually mankind will mature to realizing the keys to salvation and a just society cannot be found in these humanistic ways, human-made ways rather. We must have a divine structure. We're in need of something. And when they come to realize that all of these man-made ideas are not sustainable for human beings, then there can only be one other solution, and that is a divine solution. Now here, this trajectory of growth is happening in front of us. The world is waking up. It is on the verge of being able to accept one human savior, irrespective of his color, irrespective of his name, because he will represent their needs. The greatest movement that occurred in recent years to prove this was called the Occupy Wall Street movement. Now I'm going to assume everybody, for the brevity of time, knows what the Occupy Wall Street movement is, so I won't go into large detail. You can read it yourself, inshallah. But very simply, after the 2008 to 2011 economic crash, people from around the world spontaneously made moves to demand a more just economic and political system. They called themselves, we are the 99 percenters, meaning that we 99% of this world are being forced into this system by 1% of the world that is going to corrupt us and corrupt this system. We want better for ourselves. You know what they did? They marched, placarded, stood, camped for months outside institutions, political and economic. Was this a Shia movement? No. Was this a Muslim movement? No. Was this a Christian movement? No. It was a human movement. Atheists, Hindus, Buddhists gathered and demanded justice around the world for months and months. A simple question. When the awaited Savior of humanity saw that movement, did he condemn or condone that movement? Which one? Did he condemn it and say, what are these people doing? Why would they? I don't like that they're, moving around the world. Millions of people are demanding justice, a better social movement. No. He was proud of that movement. He endorsed that movement, even though it wasn't a Shia movement. Now, if you've understood this, you will see that millions of people around the world are waking up, desirous of a better system that removes the impoverty that is placed upon them, a better education, a better media, a better democracy, a better social system around the world. They do not belong to Shias, they do not belong to any one sect. It is a global movement. If Imam alayhi salam was to come tomorrow, he would partake and lead that movement. The world would see him and say, he is the one to be able to establish those things we are calling for. And so we move with him because he is creating that movement around the world. He represents us, the justice that needs to take place around the world, and he can create a sustainable movement for the world. This is a trajectory of growth, whereby we no longer think of him, Christians, Jews, Hindus, will not look at him as representing a Shia faith. They will see him being the pedestal of human justice, and so they will gravitate towards that figure because he represents everybody.